Okay, this is our Evite for the event next week. You'll see a number here, referral accepted is 35. There's actually 3 more that I know Connie said I'm sorry. Anthony said he had 2 more, and Joe, 2 more confirmed, and then Joe has a plumber, an electrician, and a painter. So that's 38. That includes 18 of us, so that means that we have 20 confirmed visitors that I know of. And I have a strong feeling that there's more RSVPs that you guys haven't given me. So one thing I want to tally right now is who has not given me their RSVPs? Can you raise your hand? Okay. Do you have RSVPs at this point? Yes? Yes. Okay. I need that number, but more importantly, I need the name and information for those people so that we can track them and create a name tag and add them here and all of that kind of jazz. Because one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to send out another blast from Evite to all of the people that are on the Evite. Say, hey, you haven't responded yet. Make sure you see how many people are here, and then they're going to come back and look at it. We want that number to be as high as possible. Okay? So we're at 38 now, with plus your extra RSVPs, and we should be getting RSVPs probably all the way up until the day before. I know that I have 4 at this point. I should have another 2 or maybe even 3 by next Wednesday. So please keep doing your follow-up. Please keep reaching out to those people and encouraging them to prepay, whether they send you cash or a check or you send them to Kim to pay by credit card. I'm finding it to be very easy to get people to prepay, and I know they're going to come. Because as soon as somebody prepays, they're not going to not show up unless they have an emergency. Yeah.
Sorry, with that being said, with the prepay, give me their number. It's easier if I call them to do it. Because if they call me and I'm in my car driving, I'm not in front of a computer.
Sure.
So if I can call them and just when I'm on the computer at the office, it's a lot easier. So if you just send an email saying, oh, here's Kim, she'll get you paid. It's like, I don't want to go and chase that person or them to think, or to call me while I'm in the car. So it's just easier if I get their number.
All right.
Did you say there was a discount for paying ahead of time?
$15 if you pay ahead, otherwise 20 at the door.
Okay.
15 prepaid, 20 at the door.
Kim, for the occasional 1 or 2 people like I have, they may be my guest. May have 1 or 2 like that. How can we just let you know their name?
Yeah, so what I want to do, Jason, is get a list of all the RSVPs, and we'll maybe just do that even the day before. And if just send me an email and just say I'm paying for so-and-so.
You got it.
And I'll check that off on my list.
Do you guys have the Excel spreadsheet where you can put the names, everything in there? For those who have some RSVPs? Brian, Ariel? Actually, if you do. Okay, you got the spreadsheet.
What I've done, and in my follow-up calls, was with letters, I'm telling people if they bring the letter and they haven't prepaid, that's their ticket in. I've already talked to Kim about billing me. So if somebody shows up with the letter that I sent with them, that's their prepaid ticket. That should make it easier for you, but I'll also follow up with you.
Okay, so I'm not incredibly concerned about RSVPs at this point. I think that we're doing a very good job, and it looks like we're going to have a successful event. I do want to start concentrating on some of the more minutia.
Minutia.
I don't know if that's the right word, whatever. Joe sent an email to the visitor host team that we need to do a meeting. We need to have a meeting next Tuesday. He suggested lunch, which I think would be great, but I just want to make sure that all the folks on the visitor host team understand what their roles are going to be that day. I know we got 2 new members on the visitor host team, and thank you guys for being there today. You were great.
What time do you want to do it, Joe?
Whatever is going to
Whatever works,
for everybody. Either lunchtime, late
I know
afternoon.
it'll only take about a half an hour.
For me that day, it's either going to be early morning or late afternoon. I have a 10-minute
I
clock
got it.
mediation. I don't know how long it's going to take. Maybe 30 minutes and do 6 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe we do a late afternoon meeting.
That's
Or
fine.
do you want to give your account day up?
Well, it depends because really there's a couple issues here. One, we need to know. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people essentially on the visitor host team, and right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll do it.
So Sandra will be 6. Can you take some notes?
I'll write it down. Or are you guys writing it down?
Can you?
So who is on the visitor? Who are the original visitor host team, and then we have so many people extra that are going to be at the tables. So we need to know who's going to be downstairs,
Right.
who's going to be upstairs.
Right, and that's something that we can talk about. But I just want to make sure that I've got enough people. So with you, that's 6. Okay, Andrew, you make 7, and I can't remember. Anybody?
What is this?
We need an extra person on the visitor host team. You're already on the visitor host team.
Downstairs?
Yeah.
You pass me here, I'll do it.
Okay, so Dr. J, Sandra, and Andrew. Can you write that down?
We need to get here by 11 or 10:45.
10:45. Everybody needs to be here at 10:45. Will, you're going to have to skip your meeting next week. Purpose and overview. We need to decide.
If we're not going to meet late afternoon Tuesday because we can't get enough people together due to geographics, why don't we just come a little bit early next Wednesday? Is that an option?
For the visitor host team meeting?
Yeah.
That's something we'll discuss with the people on the visitor host team. I just want to make sure I have those people, and we'll figure out a meeting time. I would prefer Tuesday, but we can do it Wednesday morning. Membership committee. Brian Kelly had brought up a good idea that without Jennifer Go, the 4th person on the membership committee for any particular applicant should be the person that invited them. I think that is what we will go with. However, I think that we can also use a power partner, as Sandra had suggested. So that'll be up to the membership committee, based on. Oh, that doesn't look like that.
Are we still setting up a table inside?
We are going to do that, yes, and you'll see here, room setup. Goodie bags. Kim and Sandra are setting up the goodie bags. Hopefully you guys brought stuff. I don't have any promotional materials. I'm sure that you can reach out to them at any point in the next week.
Just bring them next week.
Or just bring them next week. Okay, great. Room setup. Head table. And for how many is a big question. We don't have Jenny's input right
I
now,
don't think we
unfortunately.
have a head table.
We don't have one?
No, there's
No.
They had one at Orange Coast, so
We never had a head table.
we don't, right?
It says on the sheet, no head table.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, all right, so no head table.
Just a lecture.
Because the leadership team isn't running the meeting.
Right, exactly. Okay, so one thing that Joe and I discussed yesterday was nixing the member display table. Since we're going to have goodie bags and a bunch of rounds and a lot of interaction, I almost feel like a member display table would just distract from any networking. Am I off base there? Or?
I think
That's
we
fine.
should still have the table so that they can, some people are visual
You think
and
we
they
should have-
need to see all this stuff.
Okay, who wants to set it up then?
I said bigger the better.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. in
that's
fact,
fine.
Bring as much as you can because there's a lot of people that function differently and the
Sure.
reason they say about this table is because some people like to see the flyers and stuff like that.
Okay,
So-
who's going
I'll
to
help
set it up?
another visitor host person.
What's
do
that?
I'll help another visitor host do it.
Oh,
Usually we come,
I'm a setup.
usually we come in,
Okay.
it's just whoever gets here first,
Alright.
try to figure it out.
okay.
That's what we do. I mean,
And we should all be here early, so we should all be at the help.
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up. Right? It's not on my notes here, but I've said it before. Everybody needs to be here by 10:45. If you're late, that means you're here after 10:45. We need everyone here so that we can help make sure everything is in order. There's 8 official people that are going to be on the visitor host table, but really we're all visitor hosts. And we need to keep that in mind. We have 8 people operating the visitor host table, and that's their specific duty, but at all times we are all visitor hosts.
Correct.
Next week. Okay. When we set up the room, we're going to have rounds. We're not going to be able to only have 6 seats at every round to avoid backs to the front. So please, members, make sure that visitors are sitting so that they can see the front. I'm sure it'll be impossible to have that 100%, but please do your best to have your backs to the front and make you the one that has to cheat out, okay? Visitor host table, how did I write this down? Oh, downstairs, of course. Need lots of connectors, that's what I was saying in terms of everybody's a visitor host. The goodie bags, do we want to pass the goodie bags out at the visitor host table? Or do we want to have them at the seats?
I was thinking, well,
I I'll say,
I think
when I
we
say
should later.
check in, the
Yeah.
connector
We give it to them.
should give it to them.
That's my.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more of a personal instead of them coming down and sit down and get
You want
something
to hand
they
it
walk
to them as they
in.
leave?
Yes.
Oh, we might miss somebody that way.
That's
Yeah.
exactly my thought. Yeah, because people stand up and they bolt.
Like, you know how we normally supposed to have it, that this is our membership, you know, this is our member, like, someone should introduce them, what that table is, what this table is, some of the, you know, brochures and stuff like that for our members, this is what we, if you want more information, like, for example, Connie, we have a Connie stop here, or whoever, show them, and then before we connect to another person, thanks for coming in, you know, we could say, before you leave, please take one of these back, or we could just go and give them at that point.
What about, once we know who's at the round tables, just having the number put at that table? So it's sort of in the middle.
Well, you talk about now you talk about seating chart.
How about
No,
when they check in?
what I'm trying to do is avoid at the beginning, not being able to connect people with those.
Yeah, I agree.
That doesn't
You know,
I've done it many times. That takes literally 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is we're going to have members at every table. So as we adjourn the meeting, I think it'd be easier for me to say, hey, just a moment here, I have a visitor bag for each of you. Wait just a second, I'll go get 5 of them and bring them to the table. I think it's better than other people looking through the bag when they're supposed to be listening to what's going on and interacting. I don't think passing them out at the beginning so people are schlepping through there and making noise and reading is appropriate, personally.
So you're suggesting that the members go and grab them and bring them to the people at the table?
Yeah, right near the end when you're adjourning, and we can each take, you know, you got 4 or 5 people at the table. Oh, hey, just a moment. It's going to take 20 seconds, 15 seconds for me to go get them, and
Well,
I don't know.
like when Anthony does the action quote, hey, please everybody stay for 2 minutes. Yeah, when you say
Yeah,
the action quote,
yeah,
we'll wrap it up.
You mean next
Please
week?
stay- Yeah, please stay
Yeah.
for the next 30 seconds. The members of the chapter have small party
Yeah,
groups.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For next week?
Yeah,
You're not
I'm
saying
not
that.
running the meeting next week.
well then we let Clement know that.
Okay.
Well, somebody can just get up and say it.
Because they run
Anthony
it
can do
totally
I'll do
differently.
it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
There's enough going on.
I'm not running the meeting next week. I get to be in Denver next week.
It could even be in the center.
If we're going to do it that way, I'd rather have the bags in the
On the
center.
table.
If we get up and it'd be disrupting the meeting. If we get up out of the table and get the bag, I would say that would be disrupting it.
That's when the
Put them
meeting,
on the table.
when the meeting's over. At the end of the meeting, the meeting's over. They say,
Yeah.
okay, we're adjourning. They say, oh, just wait just a second.
Or no, just
We'll
have
go
like
get
a
the
little
business
box near the visitor,
Okay.
near the members, and you know, put it on the
Well,
floor.
I mean, there's a lot
Members
of
know what it
ideas.
is.
Well, that's not something we discussed. Actually, I think that leaving them on the table is the best. Because then there's less confusion.
Really festive.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that.
It will look really
Everyone's
festive
got an
too.
idea.
Okay, let's do
Yeah, and people won't have to worry
Decoration.
about where their bag is. All right, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna put them on the table. Just erase this.
In the meantime, how about a round of applause for Sandra and Kim?
But I still say we should still have someone show the display table that this is our display table before we connect to someone.
Absolutely, when they walk in.
Kim, do you want our business cards over there now?
So I took that printout that Brian Kelly made, and then I'm just rolling it up and I'm putting ribbon around it.
Okay, so we don't need business cards.
Okay,
Alright.
the membership committee is gonna have a table, at the, near the exit. We need to have that set up, before the event occurs. We just basically have a table there. We will discuss this when we arrive. Everybody will be here by 10:45, so we'll just kind of figure out where it's going to be, but it'll be by one of the exits. There will be 2 or 3 chairs there so that the membership committee folks can sit there. They'll have a sign on it that says membership committee, and we will point them to it during the meeting at some point.
Do we have plenty of clipboards?
They're in Anthony's wife's car. But more importantly, do we have applications?
Yes, and actually, Jenny,
That's not in my wife's car. It's in my El Camino, but yeah, you know, she can't drive the damn car.
So if I get everybody's attention, we're going to go over this, which is something that Jenny sent us. This is what she would be doing today if she had come, but it's May and they're doing the extravaganza, so she did 2 other meetings today. We did the top part. Jenny will be facilitating the meeting and making the call to order, and then she will ask Anthony, the chapter president, who will introduce the leadership team and support team. And you should have a prepared list for that, which you already do.
I actually have it in digital form now, so I have it no matter what.
And make sure that when you're introduced, you stand just like a normal meeting. The purpose and overview. Anthony, please choose one, email it to me, and I will let her know which one we're going to do. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that.
Who's gonna do it?
She does, I suppose. I don't know.
No, wait,
Is she looking for a name here? Is that what that is? Okay, so we will have Brian do it. Brian Kelly's doing it. I just decided.
Yay.
Education moment.
Okay, let me,
Education moment.
you should email that.
You want to use one of those four? Last week I had asked you if you wanted to see if there was any success. Yeah, that's okay. Just choose one of the four, but I will give her your name here.
Yeah, I'll
I need to know who wants to start the sales manager minute next week. Who wants to be the first person to stand up and do the sales manager minute?
Just pick the table, like we normally do. We never picked before. We just pick we go from this table and go down.
Well, she wanted to know the person that we're starting with. I can give that to her next week.
Jason Piazza.
You go first.
Jason,
you go first.
Jason.
All right, you know what? I'll give her me, and I'll make sure that I sit at the right spot.
Yeah.
The other 30 seconds. Thank you. It's a 30-second sales manager minute. We need to have a timer. Kim, I suppose you'll be our timer?
Yes.
Okay. Write down Kim timer, please. Please make, because 30 seconds is about half as long as our normal sales manager minute. So write something out. I suggest you practice it and time it. Brian and I have very good internal clocks because we've done a lot of professional reading. So I know what 30 seconds feels like. But I also know what it feels like to think that you know what 30 seconds feels like and have no freaking clue. So please write something out and realize what 30 seconds is, because it's a lot faster than you think. Timekeeper, yeah, we got Kim. Jean, we want to read a very strong Vice President's report. And what I've written down here is show off some simple thank you for closed business and referrals passed. I also wrote highlight a 3-year running average. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but our 3-year average, I mean not average, I'm sorry, running total is what I meant. Our running total is I think probably like $1.5 million over the last 3 years, and that number really kind of, is great. So
I'll round it up to the nearest million.
Yeah.
Do what you think is right, but just make
1.1 mil.
What I tell my clients when they're asking me about what the landlord wants to see on the application is I say we got a blank canvas and we want to paint a really pretty picture that gives them a warm and fuzzy feeling. And please, Gene, do that with your Vice President's report.
And as far as education,
Fine.
we already discussed what we're going to do there.
Yeah, Clay's just going to pick one.
Yeah, I may pick one, but I'd also like, for those of you that are putting those together, over the next couple of days, please send me success stories from what you've seen in the chapter here, something that has brought success to you, your practice, or something you've heard from another referral.
Some of these cases where it's been multiple people, Anthony, Brian Kelly, we've done 3 or 4 people on a case. Send that email to Clayton and just tell a story about the synergy of that.
All right, it's 1:04, and I got a couple more things to talk about. There's going to be no secretary-treasurer report, Kim. Clement obviously is delivering the keynote. When we do stand and deliver, only referrals, thank you for closed business, and one-to-ones. Don't blow V8, just report the facts. We do, however, want to have 3 D&I testimonials or success stories. I don't have to have those answers now, but if you would like to do... Huh?
Pick them now.
Okay, pick them now. Fine. Good idea. Who wants to do the 3...